So I got some good news today. My hematologist signed off on my chart saying I'm good to go. I don't need to have any more follow up unless I'm starting to feel sleepy, dizzy, or tired again, and or if I check my CBC and my hemoglobin's a little low, then I could come back. But as of now, he's signing off on my chart. So I was so happy to hear that. February, I think February 19th, I went and had my CBC done, repeated it after I had the last time I had my iron infusion. The last infusion I had was June. No, no, no. It was August. I had it in August, and I was supposed to have my lab work done in August, September, October. I think October. I didn't have it done in October, February the 19th. I had it done. So the hemoglobin came back 14.6, I think. I think it's 14.6. Yeah, 14.6. That was what the hemoglobin was. In a hematocrit, it was 44.5, which hematocrit is 35.0 to 45, and the hemoglobin 11.7 to 15.5 are the normal ranges. So I had that, and that was good. And I think my ferritin, because they also checked the ferritin. The ferritin was 238, which is high, and he wanted it to be high. The normal ranges in the ferritin is 16 to 232. So I had that done, and that was good. And I'm so glad that part of the little error is over. I finally got my iron to be at its normal level. And it took a lot of different things to do to get me here. And I wasn't the ideal patient doing things on time like I should have. I probably would have been steady. No, no, I don't know. But I was slow and getting my labs like I should have been getting them done. I will wait more than the 3 months before I get the labs done again. So because I be feeling better, I'm no longer tired, no longer sleepy and stuff like that. So that's the reason why. And that's just us as human people. Just like when we take medicine, they give us some antibiotics and they tell you to take it all. But by the time you're on the third day, you're feeling good. You say, "Oh, I don't need this medicine. I ain't taking no more." But that's the same way it is when you get that iron infusion, because you do feel the difference within 2 weeks of after you having the infusion. So I had that done in August, and I had my labs from my hematologist in February. However, I had to go back to my primary care doctor to see her just for my annual checkup. And so with her, she normally just, run the normal labs with her, because she know that my hematologist is going to follow up with the CBC. Unless I'm having a problem or something like that, then she'll do the CBC. So September, I go to her and she just run a CMP, lipid panel, A1C, TSH, and like all my female hormones, because I was having some real bad difficulty, hot sweats, night sweats, hot flashes, whatever you want to call it. I was just hot all the time, and thirsty and stuff. So they didn't know what was going on. I felt like I was going into menopause. However, I was still having my cycle, and it was heavy, and it was lasting 7 full days, sometimes 8 full days. So my cycle was irregular. So she wanted to just check everything and make sure everything was going okay. Well, in September, when she did the CMA1C went up to 10.7. So I I always teeter totter in the last 3 years of borderline, pre-diabetic, or whatever you want to say, because my A1C will fluctuate from 5.6 to 5.7, and it need to be under 5.6. So because it was that low, they didn't really want to give me the diagnosis of being a diabetic, but they just told me to watch my diet, watch what I eat, and exercise. But I kept going along because I'm just like, nah, it ain't gonna be bad. However, it was. So I got kind of like, got kind of serious about my health. I did start taking things a little different, looking at things different, and I had already had so many, so many things had went on in my life in the last 2 years. So I look at life totally different now. It's totally different. It is a gift, truly it is. So once I recognized, well, once she told me that my hemoglobin was 10.7, she even panicked as well. So she decided to put me on some diabetic medications. She said I didn't need insulin, and she was hoping that I don't get that way where I would need to be having, take insulin. So she had ordered me some medications. It's a shame I don't remember the meds. Um, she ordered me. It wasn't metformin at all. Um, she ordered Jarnes and Jubia, and they was two um, diabetic medications, and my cholesterol was high, and that comes along with being a diabetic. Normally you're going to see somebody that have high A1C, and they're going to have something wrong with the cholesterol, because we all know it goes with your diet as well. So I was taking Jardis 10 milligrams a day, and then I was also taking Juvenile 100 milligrams a day. And I hired me a nutritionist to help me with my diet, because there's certain things that I like. Like I really like a lot of rice. I can eat rice every day. I can eat potatoes every day, but I can also eat fish and seafood every day. So the fish and the seafood, that was a plus. That was good for me. I don't necessarily have to have fried chicken all the time, but I do occasionally like hot wings, but I can always put them in the air fryer for those. So anyway, she worked with my diet, gave me some ideas on what to eat, trying to eat more green leafy vegetables, and just trying to do things better, just to try to lower my A1C. It shows how your sugars in your body for the last 3 months. So it wasn't like it was just high because I ate last night or anything like that. No, it was more or less, it took a snapshot of my body for the last 3 months. So I was kind of concerned with that. So I kind of like tightened that up. And I knew that when I went back to go get my labs done in February, I was going to also do my labs for my hematologist as well, because I was like, ugh, maybe I might have to have iron infusion again, but that wasn't the case. So, like I said, the iron is good. I know for a fact that we narrowed out what could have been the cause of me having so low iron, and I had a sleep study done during that time, because I used to be very extremely tired, very, very tired. So I had a home sleep study done, and I did have a CPAP at the house. I rented one because you don't buy it right out. So you rent it, and they tell you that you have to be compliant with it for the first 90 days. And I was compliant for the first 30 days. And then I got to the point that I was taking it off in the middle of the night. But they monitored from Perkins, from the medical supply store. They monitored me with the CPAP machine on, and they stated to me that they just didn't feel like I needed it. I did take a home study of the sleep study. So they was thinking maybe I need to go inside, like into a sleep study center, and do it that way, because while I had the mask on, I didn't have any episodes of apnea, much that I needed a CPAP machine. So we know that was caused, really a lot of that was caused by my low blood. My doctor also ordered for me to have a colonoscopy done. Um, I opted out of doing that right away. I asked, could we do the colon guard, where they take a sample of your stool, send it off, and test it for 2 weeks, and then send it back. And that would have indicated for me to really, do I need to go have the colonoscopy done, or could I wait? The stats say that you should have your first colonoscopy should be done when you turn 45. Well, I'm 50 and I haven't had one, so I did do the colon guard, but what I plan to do is within the year, I'm going to schedule to have the colonoscopy. I am afraid to be put to sleep, so that was my fear. So, of course, anything that you're afraid of, you want to try to do something else to substitute it first, or if there is enough a way you can do something before you have to do what you're scared to do. You know what I mean? So, but I plan on going ahead to schedule that colonoscopy. I did find a doctor, a GI doctor that's closer to me, that I'm gonna make an appointment probably by the end of the year and meet with her and schedule that thing and get it done, because the colon guard is good for 1 to 3 years unless you start having some types of symptoms. Um, However, the colonoscopy is good, can be good between for 5 to 7 years. All depends on what they find. If they have to snip or cut any polyps off, then they may tell you to come back and have a repeated one within 5 years. So if they don't find nothing, you might be cleared for 7 years. Um, that was one of the things that the hematologist wanted me to do. Also, the hematologist did was suggesting that I have a hysterectomy, because they did do an ultrasound and I do have fibroids, but they wasn't that big, wasn't that huge for me to have to go have surgery right away. They was gonna try different things like ablation, um, the IUD. They was gonna try. I did try the birth control shot, birth control pills, and none of that worked. So my thing was I wasn't gonna do that blazing thing that they were gonna do, like burn your cervix and all that. I wasn't gonna do that. I was gonna either have the hysterectomy or not. I wasn't gonna play with that because I read so much on that, and sometimes that don't stop your cycle either. So I just waited and let nature take its course. And now I'm like in pre-menopause. I'm not menopause all the way, but I'm in pre-menopause. So and the hematologist knows that my heavy cycles was calling for me to be such a chronic anemia. So he signed off on that. Hopefully things keep continue going the way it's going. I'm not having those heavy cycles. So hopefully that issues is resolved. Now I'm trying to resolve another issue, and that is to lower my A1C. Like I said, I found out in September that my A1C had creeped up a lot, and I started the medications, started doing things, not a whole lot. Now, I didn't go and like join the membership at the gym and all that, but I did start doing things, moving my body around, doing things that I normally wouldn't do, to get some kind of exercise going on with me. And when I repeated my labs in February, the A1C dropped back down to 7. mm, I think it dropped back down to 7.3. And also I was low with vitamin D, and I had took the vitamin D too. I was taking that only once a week. Um, Also during the time with this low iron, they wanted me to do a bone density test as well. And I was going to have to do it anyway, because after the age of 50, they want you to do it. And I was diagnosed with a little bone loss, not a lot, but they just gave me some calcium, and I'm taking that as well over the counter. During the time they was also with my labs, I she ordered labs to make sure that my body was producing insulin, which it is. It's still producing insulin, so she was glad about that, and me too, because then if it wasn't, then therefore I would have had to be on insulin. So right now, since my last lab, she decided to increase the diabetic medications. I think I'm taking the Jardis 20 milligrams now instead of 10, and the Prevacid Instead of 10 milligrams, I'm taking 20 milligrams of that for my cholesterol to lower it down. So it did get some kind of increase, and I'm still not drinking any sodas. I promised myself I'm not going to pick up another soda again. However, I do like drinks. Like I used to love fruity drinks, sweet drinks. So I've been looking at a lot of drinks with less sugar in it or no added sugar in it. And right now, the top one that I drink is called Ice. I don't have it in here with me because I done found something else with no sugar, zero sugar added. Or it might be backwards. Zero sugar added into it, but it does come with 3 grams of sugar already. So, but I'm paying more attention on what I'm putting in my body these days. So I'm gonna continue on with this diet. I ain't gonna call it a diet. It's just making sure that I'm eating well instead of a lot of junk food. I try to eat good food. I try to have me at least twice a week. I'll try to have at least um 2 or 3 pieces of salmon, and I tried this new thing for rice. It's not rice. I forgot what it's called. It's called something. And a lot of people I read online have that to substitute rice. Now, I'm I'm from the South. I'm a Southern girl. Rice is a thing for us. So it's nothing that I can think of that can substitute rice. However, I think I can eat brown rice. Brown rice not that bad, not that bad at all. I just take me a long time to cook it, but it's not that bad. So I'm okay with the brown rice. But ain't nothing like some white rice and butter, salt and pepper. But I know it's not good for me, so I'm not going to drill on it too much. So I did happen to see a couple of people had comment on my videos, and these were some old videos related to my iron, but I do remember I did put a little short video up about the iron. And I think that was probably when the last time I had the iron infusion. So let me see if I can go in here really quick and see about the comments. I did respond to them on here as well because I'm making goals and trying to set them and execute them. Quarter 1 is wrapping up, and I pretty much did everything that I planned to do. Quarter 1 was about self care for me, like truly self care, like mentally, physically, emotionally. It was about self care. So I have been taking that time, making sure I was doing that. And only thing left I need to do is go to the dentist, and I'm scared of the dentist. Scared of the dentist too. I don't know. I think I had them to. I had one cavity one time, and I was an adult, and I had to have them. They was filling it, and I don't know what Sister Girl did, but I couldn't eat nothing. It was just tingling on that side, and it happened lasted for like 3-4 days. So I had to go back to the dentist, and she wasn't a warmy fuzzy type person, so I was looking to switch her and get a new dentist. And she comes in there and talks to me, and then she tells me, "Oh, you got to get a root canal. I got to get a root canal because something that you done did." So I didn't end up having to get the root canal. I ended up going to getting a second opinion. And I didn't, but I just ain't see her no more. But anyway, let's see. Let's see. Uh, I commented on there already today. What I did was I had time to look at some of the comments that was here, and I responded to them. It was one young lady saying that she was scared. She was going to get her iron infusion, and she was scared. I was like, "Don't be scared, baby. You're gonna feel so good. You're gonna be like, why ain't Ben came and got it?" Somebody asked a question about did I um did I have stomach problems after I think after I had the infusion? And no, I didn't have any stomach problems at all. I didn't have no cramps or anything. I have nothing doing. Only one time I had a problem and it wasn't during the infusion, it was after the infusion. But what I had after after that, the doctor gave me Benadryl and hydrocortisone. So he gave me that in the mix of having the iron infused at the same time, so I won't have no type of reaction because I really think I had a bad reaction on that second go round. Um, let's see. Um, this one person said they hemoglobin is 7.1, and my doctor is concerned. I have never had an infusion, but I'm considering one. Well, mine was at 7 too. I think it was 7.0, or Mike was 6.9 when I first went to him. So I would advise you to go ahead and get it done, unless you want to try the iron, liquid iron. The liquid iron, I think it works a little better because when I first started with the iron infusion, I did used to take the liquid iron and it worked a little bit, but I needed extra because I was still having those issues. I was still having those heavy cycles, so I needed something on top of that to reinforce it. See, I'm on my way to for my iron infusion appointment, and I'm praying it doesn't make me feel how some people say it make you feel. Well, like I said, I got Benadryl and a hydrocortisone at the same time. So when I first get hooked up to the IV, I'm okay for a little while, but soon as start infusing, I'm going to sleep. Not to mention because my iron was low, I was falling asleep anyway. So to have Benadryl on top of that, I'm definitely going to sleep. And then I had the cortisone, that's a steroid on top of that. Yeah, I was going to sleep. So it was like an hour or so, maybe 2 hours. This one person said, I need to add vitamin C to any vitamins. Correct. If you add vitamin C, especially to your iron, your body absorb it better, much better. When I took the iron pill, it just had me constipated and it just made me sick on my stomach. So I used to always try to take it at night. But if you go to bed late at night, you don't always remember to take the pill and you don't really want to be feeling sickly anyway. And what else? I think that was it. Yeah, I think that was it. For all the folks that had sent me a message. That is it. But yep, if you can get the iron infusion, I would advise you to do it. Also, most hematologists' office will tell you, but there's a patient assistant program. I I don't think I have the link, but ask your hematologist, whomever's gonna be sending you for your iron infusion. Ask them to set you up for the patient assistant program. Now, my visits were because he's a specialist. My insurance copay for that was $65 each time I went to see him, and I think I saw him about. Let's see, let me see how many times I saw this man. Um, So, you know, about 5 times. So I had to pay $65 each time I saw him. Then when I got the infusion, because when I saw him, I didn't get the infusion the same time. What in the first 2 times. Then I learned real quick. I told him I wasn't coming to see him unless, but on the days that I'm getting the infusion. Now, any follow ups after that, we'll have to do telemed. So ask for the patient assistant. I think all of the iron infusion has those patient assistant programs because they'll pay $50 a quarter. So if you have the iron infusion this quarter, you'll pay $50 toward it. So whatever your copay is like, mine was 65. So one time when I got the infusion, I only had to pay $15, and the next time when I got the infusion, I had to pay the whole 65 because it was in that same quarter. So remember that. Yep, that's about it. So glad of that. So now I'm just going to work on this A1C and get myself together. Boy, I tell you, life at 50. I'm, I'm super glad to be here though. Well, until next time, y'all be blessed. Peace. Sounds strange.